Hi there. This episode was recorded before week 7 of Friday Night Funkin' was released. Some of the jokes and stuff are based on this and might be slightly outdated. Anyway, let's get on with it.
Hey! Welcome to the first podcast with Ninja Muffin. Ninja Muffin, go ahead and start the show for us.
Hey guys, you guys already know me. I don't need to explain myself. I'm the host of this podcast every single day.
Yeah.
On the weekly. The first podcast starring Lars and Duplex.
And
that's me.
The first podcast sponsored by Apple. Apple invented podcasts with the iPod Nano.
Yeah.
It's an odd mix of bullshit and actual kind of truth. So, by the way, I just noticed that Palo liked the promo tweet about this. I wanted to get into something because, okay, so I went ahead and played the game for a bit to research for this episode. I watched some Let's Plays of it by Critical and people like that. And I gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised to see Skid and Pump in the game. Yeah, David Senior Palo, that is actually a buddy of ours who's been on the podcast multiple times, I really wasn't expecting that.
Yes,
crossover. That was kind of cool.
Palo's a real one. Like, the game absolutely kind of took off because of like him initially. Like, I posted like initial like work in progress thing, like way back before the game was even like anything, and like I just remember like he retweeted it, and it's kind of like did numbers, at least like numbers in the scale of like me and like my Twitter at the time of like dipshit 500 follows. It was like, oh wait, this thing has like 300 like or 3,000 likes, and it's all because of Senior Palo. And yeah, so it's like, okay, Palo's the homie.
Palo's a kingmaker,
yeah,
and a lifesaver.
So what the heck's the deal with this Five Nights at Freddy's thing that everyone's talking about?
Oh, there's kiddos. All right, let's do another clap sync. 1, 2. You right there?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Perfect.
I think I was a little early.
Well, this is just for lining up in post, really. You're fine.
Sorry, Ninja, what were you saying?
Okay. Wait, Friday Night Funkin', what the hell is that game? What the
heck?
What the funk?
Five Nights at Funkin'.
What the damn?
What is the Friday night? What? Friday Night Funkin'.
Okay, Cam, for the listeners, just to set aside the memes for a second and give a straight answer, can you explain a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Okay, so I'm the programmer of indie game Friday Night Funkin', Newgrounds game, rhythm game, fun game. It's this wacky little rhythm game. It's kind of popular right now, and it's kind of scary. And I'm 1/4 of the people working on it. I'm a little bit of a cheerleader for the game and Newgrounds and everything around it. And I like women.
Oh, good.
Can we get some confirmation of that?
You're also very handsome. I think that I did say at the start of this.
Handsome man, yeah.
That what we like to do here is we like to hit on our guests.
I'm okay with that.
So all your resume is great and all, but let's get into what really matters here. Your looks.
Wait, I want to head on him some more. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know you said you're into women, but hear me out. I've actually played the shit out of Friday Night Funkin'. When I found out you were coming on here, I was like, ooh. And it just feels so good to see Newgrounds catch another dub because
yes,
you know, it's so good to see it, especially with how big like FNF is on TikTok and how it's I hopefully introducing a whole new era of people to Newgrounds.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, Newgrounds stay blessed, Newgrounds stay winning. It is cool where it's like the game is very intertwined with Newgrounds. There will be like people from Newgrounds who are like, get big or whatever, like Among Us. Like those guys are from Newgrounds, and they're like,
what the fuck?
Yeah. like the lead artist. He made Henry Stickmin. Do you guys know that series?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Puffballs.
Damn, I did not know that.
Yeah. Like all those guys kind of like have roots in Newgrounds, and it's just this small little team, and you can almost kind of see it in that art style, that kind of like cartoony, flashy art style.
Yeah.
But it's like, that success story. It's like Newgrounds is like so many kind of far steps below that. Like you guys were kind of surprised. It was like, oh, whoa. those guys are from Newgrounds, but it's like, yeah, damn right, they're from Newgrounds,
yeah, they're ours. Yeah,
I wanted to workshop a thing I've been kind of thinking about developing, and so just want to get some like early opinions from you guys.
I got you.
Okay.
So, edible dice.
Oh my god.
I'm thinking like you get a couple bags of them, you put them in your D&D room, and then like when you roll the dice, you eat the dice afterwards. So it's like constantly fresh dice, and maybe they're just like actual potato chips though.
I'm in. I'm invested.
But where's the structural integrity to that? I feel like the first roll, there's just gonna be crumbs on your table.
Yeah, that was the problem with the chips, because I've been workshopping a bunch of different. I think croutons might work as dice. Maybe coat them in chocolate and garlic.
Why not like cookies?
Listen, here's my input. Listen, I see a classic pair of like white and black dice, 6-sided, and I'm not even. I just want to put it into my mouth and like eat it.
Yeah.
They do look very tasty.
Yeah, we've all been there, and sometimes if you're feeling a little spicy, maybe you do, but it's like that you can't bite on it, and that you can't swallow it. But what if you could do those things?
See this? Yeah, it's like a primal thing that it's solving an issue, because especially when you're a kid, you're like, oh, object in front of me, I should consume.
It's kind of like the Tide Pods. Like, I'm surprised nobody's like come out and just made edible Tide Pods. Like the same consistency, texture.
You can probably get them on Etsy or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, technically, Tide Pods are edible.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, safe to eat and like they taste good. Yeah. Like fill it with like juice.
You told us off for making jokes about masks a few weeks ago, Lars, and now you're advising people to eat Tide Pods.
I'm not advising it. I'm just saying they're technically edible.
I feel like there's implications there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll say this because Cam, I know that you have a lot of younger fans.
Yes.
And just in case, guys, don't eat Tide Pods.
Eat dice.
Yeah.
Don't eat Tide Pods, but eat dice. Try
it. Eat dice instead.
Get it while you're young.
So I want to put this in the chat here. I looked up edible Tide Pods just out of curiosity, and there's one result. I looked it up on Etsy, and there's one result. I'm going to post it in chat here. So if you would all please revert your eyes to recording chat. That was the one result that comes up.
Oh, okay.
That's not edible. That's even less edible than normal.
It's a forbidden fruit butt plug. It's a butt plug that looks like a Tide Pod. That was the one result. So yeah.
Forbidden snack.
Should we maybe ask, I guess, some questions? That would probably help.
Yeah, sure. Ninja Muffin, would you use this butt plug?
I would use a dice one. Not Tide Pod, I would use a dice one.
I appreciate your honesty.
Ooh, edible butt plug.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned something interesting before, that feeling of suddenly having that explosion of interest. I mean, initially it was from that Senor Pilo tweet. But, I mean, you've had a pretty meteoric rise in the last, like, a few months. Did you have that moment where it's like, oh fuck, I can't live in like in the shadows anymore, like this is happening now and I can't really stop it?
Yeah, definitely. I think that moment definitely came when it was like people like try to cancel me or whatever because I made like wacky little tweets when I was like 17, 18.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And it was like, oh wait, this is at the point where people are like literally trying to find a reason to not like me, and they are kind of finding it, and I don't blame them, but it was that moment where it's like people are like digging, and it's like, oh no. My old tweets when I was 17, those were supposed to be sacred.
How horrifying is that?
I feel like you kind of have an advantage here though, in that your name in real life is super generic, so it's like
good luck finding me. This was by design. It's, I guess, also coming from Newgrounds though, where the community there doesn't give a shit about canceling. It's like, yeah, I guess you're getting cancelled by idiots on Twitter and TikTok, or quote unquote cancelled, I should say. But at the end of the day, the true fans, the people you actually want to associate with, won't give a shit, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah. And I think people should get a pass. Like if you did some shit when you were young and dumb, like Granted, within reason, like if you didn't, I don't know, kill someone or do some other questionable things.
Do what those two girls did for the Slender Man thing. They tried to kill that other girl.
Wait, what?
Do you guys know about that?
No.
It was the documentary thing.
These two girls are like obsessed with Slenderman. I think one of them was kind of deranged, and they felt like they had to like kill one of their classmates as a sacrifice to Slenderman. So they captured one of their classmates and like stabbed her a bunch and left her in the woods. But she managed to she got found somehow and survived. And I think they went to
Jesus Christ.
juvie. They were like 12 or something. It was fucked up. Anyway, unless you did that, there's a movie about it, like a documentary thing.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Horton Hears a Who. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, that's it. Horton hears a child dying in the woods.
So this kind of reminds me of a thought I had the other day. Like, we're talking about, people's old sins on social media and stuff.
Mm.
And if you think about it, Twitter is kind of fucked up. Like, we give people the ability to just say what's on their mind.
Yeah.
And then it's just out there forever.
Right.
Like, they don't even have a confirmation box. Like, are you sure this knee-jerk reaction is something you want out on the internet until the end of time? Like, you can have the dumbest take in the world, and then in 3 seconds, it's out there.
Yeah.
You can never take it back.
Kind of scary.
They actually do that now, though. Sometimes when you post shit, like if you post something really dumb, I haven't gotten this myself, but I think it's more if you try and do like, I don't know, post things about COVID or whatever. I think sometimes it pops up with a box being like, hey,
you sure?
Maybe you shouldn't post this. But that's,
Hey,
that's a
man,
different
take a
kettle of fish.
It's the NSA.
And it's like, you can obviously say like, well, don't post bad stuff. And you're right. This is correct. You shouldn't. But like, out of a population of billions, obviously they're like, some people are gonna. Like, it's going to happen.
Also, everyone's definition of bad changes and is different depending on who you're surrounded with and everything. Like, things are normalized, which doesn't make it okay necessarily, but like that at least explains why, things change. Yeah, things change fast, man. Like in the last 5 years, the things that are like acceptable or no longer acceptable have changed rapidly.
I remember back in like 2016 where like every creator was just like being edgy for the sake of being edgy. Like, it wasn't even like, it wasn't like there was no like malicious intent behind it. It was just like that's what comedy was back then. It's weird because it's like people just kind of forgot about that. Like, people like look back on like old stuff like, oh, you're being racist, you're being homophobic, but it was just like these creators are just being stupid. That's really what it was. And obviously they wouldn't say that stuff now. And it's really interesting how fast things change and how things are acceptable and things aren't acceptable. I don't know.
Anyway, I'm glad you survived your canceling.
Yeah.
And now here you are.
Made it out strong. Yeah, made it out powerful.
The way that I kind of see it is less. I try not to judge people in general, but as I do judge their behavior, I'm looking for trends in the right direction as opposed to like static moments. Like if someone like, for example, iDubbbz back in the day was pretty fucking raunchy with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. He was
largely kind of shied away from that now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that shows like a successful, like a maturation at that point.
Yeah. The funny thing about something like iDubbbz is if you're so far, like if you take it to such an extreme, it almost, people don't give a shit anymore. It's weird. Like you need to be just vulnerable enough for people to jump on you. But if you're iDubbbz saying pretty intense shit, I haven't really heard. Yeah. I mean, some people tried to cancel him, but he just doesn't give a shit. Like he's just so like apathetic that he just somehow was immune to it all. It's
Well, if he was still kind of like that, then I think that would genuinely be a problem.
Yeah,
but he's So it really is evolution I'm looking for in people as opposed to just like perfect behavior all the time.
Yeah.
Ninja Sex Party. Would you say that that's because like would you say a lot of that kind of crowd came from the rise on TikTok, like just the younger audience on TikTok in general, or where do you think came from?
It's me, Danny Sexbang, Ninja Sex Party.
Hey, I love your albums.
Stream road trip. It was what Like, are you asking like where do you think the people who like try to cancel me came from?
Yeah, well, actually, that I guess a better question would be like, how have you found like the waves of popularity? Like, obviously, initially it would have just been say like new people on Newgrounds and a bit from Twitter within the Newgrounds sphere, like from Senor Pelo and others, and then things got big on TikTok, and that would have brought just a complete like the polar opposite vibe, I imagine, into the fandom. How have you found that? Like, yeah.
Well, I think it is very interesting that this like Newgrounds game has like this big kind of I guess the best way to describe it is like a gay Twitter, I guess. This like
finally
Gen Z
gay Twitter,
Zoomery, like pronouns and bio type. Not that any of those are like a bad thing, but it's like it is interesting that it's like absolutely a contrast to like Newgrounds, where it's just kind of like just these creators, animators, and especially the perception
in G and bio.
Yeah. Now it's NG and bio. Especially the perception of Newgrounds, like like how it's like, oh, Newgrounds is this edgy place. It may as well just be 4chan B random board where it's just random and edgy and slurs. But it's like I think people have kind of found that like Newgrounds is not that, and it wasn't really that ever.
No,
I think it is interesting to see.
On top of that, you're talking about a website where, like, obviously there's still a steady stream of content today, but its heyday was in like the 2000s.
Right.
That was a very different era of content. So it's like, you really want to be that judgy of it? I get that things that are bad now were bad then, but you're talking about like 20 years at this point.
Yeah. People didn't even really know how the internet works. Like, it was just this weird website. Back when you went on like more than just 3 websites a day, when you were like, your friend would be like, oh, go to such and such.com, and you'd go on there and it would just like play a flash loop, and you'd be like, this is amazing, and you'd send it to everyone. No one's registering domains for that kind of thing these days. It was a scary time.
No one's registering domains at all. Everyone's making apps.
Yeah, exactly.
Back then they had websites.
Ooh.
Like actual websites that you go on. Like many kudos would have a website if you were of that age at that point. Like it's so strange that like it used to be that there were millions of sites and now there's 4.
Yeah.
Not even 4 sites. There's 4 apps. You on Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter.com's just the browser version of the app.
Because people want things more digestible.
I guess it's also like a lightning rod for everyone, like everything was so segmented back in the day. Like, say you're into Newgrounds, but there's also people on like Albino Black Sheep and like Something Awful and E-Bombs World if they're fucking idiots. So like there was kind of like no real centralized place for all that sort of thing to come together. Whereas now it's like, all right, everyone go, if you watch YouTube, if you watch videos, you go to YouTube. That's pretty much it. You go to Vimeo if you're a hipster, or Dailymotion if you hate yourself. But like, it's pretty much just like been simplified down to these really massive companies, which is interesting. But it is cool to see somewhere like Newgrounds continue to flourish, because it really is like probably one of the most creative places on the internet to date.
Yeah.
Like, there's just like this intense creativity. And I guess like people, some people write it off as edgy or whatever, but that's more just because the creativity isn't stifled in any way. Like there isn't this kind of real cancel culture of people attempting to stop people from making things, even if it's really stupid, which I guess is, it was just how you get some bangers and some really awful shit too, but also some bangers.
Or some banger awful shit.
Yeah. Everything by everyone. I do think that the Newgrounds community and like the culture as well, it's very good at like where it's like and specifically like Tom Fulp, the owner of the site, founder, CEO, God bless, salute. It's very like open, where it's like even if you don't exactly like something, or even if you don't think something deserves to be on the site, it's like if it's on the site, you can almost be like, okay, it made it past judgment. Even if I don't like it, even if no one likes it, there are people who, like it. There is a reason for this to exist on the site for one reason or another, because it is something that someone has created.
Yeah.
I think that's blessed.
Like, blessed. I remember. I mean, I don't remember. Well, I remember because I went back and looked on Newgrounds. I think it was like around after 9/11 happened. there were so many Flash games going up that just like like the whole point of the game was just like commit like mass murder.
Like literally the day of 9/11, like someone had some games locked and loaded almost. Like they reskinned a game they already had to have like Bin Laden in it instead or something.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Exactly. And like I feel like that's kind of like I don't even really know how to explain it, but like that in its own is like very Newgrounds, you know, because like anybody was just making shit. Like there was no limit. It was just like whatever you wanted. Yeah, put it on here. You want to make a game about you jiggle some ping pongs and then you get pictures of boobs, or you want to kill a bunch of Muslims the day of 9/11. Like I don't know. Newgrounds is just very like do whatever the hell you want. There was really no restrictions. And it's still kind of like that because all that stuff is still up.
Yeah, and it also wasn't so much just that it was Newgrounds. It was also that like the internet was really the Wild West back then.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You never really knew what you were in for.
That's true. Yeah,
I think Newgrounds is still special because it does kind of have that like same spirit to this day, where it's like not only it's like you can post pretty much whatever you want, right? But also it's like you can like go back to literally like 20 years ago in the past and see submissions that these people like made, and you know, it's like the 9/11 submission from 2001. You can still like play that.
It's still available.
They haven't like updated their terms of service like YouTube and gone through and like deleted a bunch of stuff retroactively. Like you try and find an old video you used to think was funny and it's just gone. It's like it's still there unless someone decided to go up and delete it. Old Tom is still hosting it.
Which is
one of the things that got me canceled was I made a game when I was like 18, and it's
about 9/11.
It's called Whites Only.
What did you do in Whites Only? What was give us the box quote?
Whites Only, the game where you kill black people. Kill all.
Oh Jesus!
Wait, is that real?
It is real. I posted this in 2018. But listen, the thing was, I was stupid when I made it just because it was like so over the top.
Right.
But like the game is like not exactly about that. It's like this kind of abstract, kind of almost pretentious. You could definitely call it pretentious, where it's like, oh, you're this white square in this gray world, and you gotta, you know, shoot the black people, and when you kill them, it actually means like converting their ideas, and it's actually more about individuality instead of like all this mob, because it's like the game mechanic in the game where it's like you shoot the like black people and they change their color. They like, as you shoot them, they turn gray, and then eventually like, you know, pure white. And then they're like, they start following you, and as you shoot, they also shoot. And so it's like this kind of it's almost this game more about like mob mentality, and like the ending of the game is where it's like you jump down, and then it's like you're in this world, and it's like all different colors of shapes and all different sizes, and all these different ideas and concepts that they're like talking about in this game, and it's like individuality. So it is funny that it's like I got canceled for that one. It is a little like ironic where it's like, oh wait, this game about mobs.
It demonstrates that, you know, people didn't actually bother to play it. I mean,
they just clicked on it.
Because like hearing you describe it at first, you know, like saying you're a white person killing black people, when in reality, I feel like if you just say you're a white square killing black squares, I think it might be a little bit easier on the ears.
Yeah. I do feel that about naming it that. So, but
didn't they play that on Only Plays? I think they play.
Oh yeah,
I have seen it before. Yeah.
I must have missed
that was my first big break in the games biz.
That is like the Newgrounds equivalent of like clickbait, though.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember even at the time, I did get like flack for it, but I will say the Newgrounds moderators, they did have my back with that game. They were like, guys, all you dipshits reporting this game, you dipshits are stupid and you're losing your whistle points. You guys should actually play the game before reporting it. And it's like, yes, you the homies, Newgrounds moderators.
Thank you, Tom.
It's like, thank
Tom
you,
himself was like, no, hey, wait, no, this is good.
Wait a
So-
sec.
I kind of feel like we should get into something, by the way. And this is, okay, I'm guessing at a minimum of 50% of people who listen to this are going to be curious about this, so I'll just get it out of the way. Do you have anything to report about the future of the game? I have to ask.
What's happening in week 9?
Let's see. Week 7, very soon.
Okay.
Put an,
Optimizing.
put an exact minute on it. I want the exact second it's dropping out.
Exact second. It is iffy because if I say it, people will get very excited because
Make a date in the past, then they can't get mad about that.
Or you could just say the wrong one, like something that's incorrect.
So it's going to be 3 months from now, and then if it releases before then, you've succeeded.
I gotta make a riddle.
Somebody in the chat did ask if there will be sex in week 7.
Would you work your way into the Newgrounds mature portal? I think that was my sexual awakening, so I would be.
Yeah, same. It was also my sexual awakening.
Did you watch that Numa Numa one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I went back and watched it. It's awful. I don't know why I ever thought it was hot.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's like the very choppy animation.
Yeah, it looks like shit.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Numa hentai is in the history books.
So really, ultimately, your answer is
yes.
It'll be ready when it's ready.
Yeah, essentially.
And there is sex in it.
Yes, and sex. Yes,
interesting.
Very essential. That's what's been taking so long. We need to like rework engine for jiggle physics.
Yeah,
and asshole moisture. Technology.
Absolutely maxing out Adobe Flash.
Yeah.
Well, jiggling blue balls must be pretty difficult, so I can see why that would take a while.
Yeah. We're getting like NBA 2K sweat graphics. This is the power of PS5.
You see the sweat coming out of the pores of the anuses. That's the kind of games I like to play.
What's weird about the NBA 2K series is that like a lot of games have like story modes and stuff, and they insist on having the NBA players do voiceover for that. And it's like, okay, I don't fault the players for this because obviously they're not voice actors, but it's some of the most atrocious horseshit I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, it's these guys who are basketball players who have no business being in a sound booth, and they keep doing this like year after year. I don't understand why they insist on involving the players on that level. It's a very bizarre thing in gaming.
You don't like Shaquille O'Neal saying, "Come on, man, you got to shoot that hoops to get your XP."
Damn, this is one heavy ball. Shit.
Let's have sex. That's a line he says in the game, right?
Shaq is an exception because he was in the infamous 1996 film Shazam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good nostalgia critic episode.
He does got those acting chops.
He does.
He was in Grown Ups too as well. He really does have those acting chops.
I saw a tweet that said Shaquille O'Neal does brand deals as though he's broke, and I thought that made me laugh. He does just show up
It's so
all
true.
the time and like the dumbest stuff.
Yeah. Like, I wonder, like, he'll be in like a diabetes commercial or something. It's just an example, but like, he won't even have diabetes. He's just the guy.
He'll be in a football commercial.
In a what?
In a football.
Wait, a what?
Football commercial.
Football. Oh, wait, you're talking about the athlete's foot.
No, just I know he's in a commercial for like a sport he doesn't even play. Like he'll just take money from anyone.
Yeah.
Anyway, can we talk more about the game? I feel like that's what everyone's here for.
Friday night get funking. Friday night get funking. Open source Newgrounds game, completely free. By the way, everyone, completely free game.
Very free. Very easy to download as long as you download the right file and not the wrong file.
You go to itch.io to download, and that's the only place where downloads are available, by the way, everyone. PSA, everyone. There's like so many bootlegs now. It's literally at the point where we have bootlegs, and people are like getting viruses and shit from Softonic.
Oh, really?
Saturday Night Suckin'.
So when is Saturday Night Suckin' coming out?
Saturday Night Suckin', definitely after the game. Definitely after main game.
Sunday morning sinning?
Are there Cam, are there any questions that you're really tired of getting at this point from people?
That you can answer live?
When week 7? When week 7? When week 7?
Yeah.
Oh, everyone wants week 7.
Well, guess what? We're doing week 8 instead.
Just skip a week.
Just delete
Just
it.
spite people.
One that I do get asked frequently is like, oh, how many weeks are there going to be? And that, that's a question where it's like, oh, no, we do. That is like a far off thing, but it is like, where it's like, game development's very fluid. We'll kind of end it, we'll cap it off. We'll try to cap it off when we kind of feel like it's right, when it's like, okay, this is a full game with this many weeks. This many weeks will be a full game. So it's like, it's kind of that situation where it's like, we don't exactly know how much.
I am curious to know if eventually you're planning on doing more commercial stuff, or if you're going to keep this as like a hobby kind of thing.
Like Friday Night Funkin' specifically?
Well, no, I mean, just like, do you see just like making games as a hobby as your future, or are you going to try to actually go commercial at some point?
I guess with Friday Night Funkin', that was kind of just the humble game jam story.
Mm-hmm.
That's like,
right.
I literally was just like thrown into this situation where it's like, oh wait, I'm technically like this commercial game dev now. Everything I feared.
My soul. My hands as an artist, they weep.
Yeah. And it's like scary. But to answer the question, I do think I'll kind of, I guess, mix it in. Maybe if Friday Night Funkin' makes like $5 million and that's enough money for me to just pay whoever I want to make any kind of game I want, I'll probably do that to some extent, but also, still make games, still make just Newgrounds games. Awesome, funny, Whites Only 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
People have been asking for the Squeakquel.
Yeah.
They've been screaming.
Yeah, people try to ask for week 7 of Whites Only.
There is something to be said for just not having to be beholden to anyone about anything in development that I can imagine is very attractive.
Yeah. It is very, it's like, yeah.
And I realize that there's some level of privilege behind that, and that, not everyone can afford to do that. But I mean, if you're in that position, that must be pretty nice, or at least that must be an upside to it.
Yeah. I will say, luckily, we're like in this very good position where it's like, we don't have publishers, we don't have like investors, we don't have like, people, it literally is just this situation where it's like, we're making this game and we kind of can keep on making it. And
you're cancel proof.
Yeah, and we're cancel proof. There's no kryptonite to this. My worst enemy is being canceled. I've made it past that. So it is the situation.
You survived trial by TikTok. So if they accept you now, then you really can just say and do anything.
Yeah, where it's like pretty much all we need to worry about is like kind of business stuff where it's like oh, money, we actually need lawyers, but other than that bullshit, it's like we really do just kind of need to worry about working on the game, and that is a very, very lucky position for like kind of any creative to be in, where it's like, oh yeah, just make your thing.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to bring something up, which is that, I mean, there's part of the answer to this is going to be, well, because it's open source, but why do you think that so many people have gravitated towards the mod scene for this game?
Yeah, I think one aspect is that it's open source, but I think also it's like all the assets, like when you download the game, it's like very easily, like you can like open up an image file and be like, oh wait, I can just like change this and then it'll look like that in the game. And it's like people like slowly kind of figured that out, and it's like, it was like that aspect, and then people like fixed code shit because it was like, oh wait, this is open source, I don't need to decompile, I don't need to depackage assets to do all this shit. It's literally just PNG images, and it's like, it is that aspect, and is very cool, I do think.
I feel like more games should do that, because if anything, especially in today's, internet culture, if anything, that just opens the door to memes and shit. Because like I've seen Friday Night Funkin' memes where they put like the Among Us characters, and they're playing along to the
Oh, we just lost Kudos.
Oh, I think it was my.
He got voted out. Who's the imposter?
Yeah.
That was weird. I didn't touch anything. It just kicked me from talking.
You still recording?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. The channel just suddenly stopped working. Anyway. I think I think that whole modding scene is really cool, and it is cool how like you said, it sort of could be a lot of people's first forays into like modding or programming or art or whatever. I mean, that was me with the Halo 1 demo. I remember there was a weirdly popular modding scene for that. Although I remember I was in a multiplayer game with a cool mod, and I asked them how they did it, and the guy said, "You just open up this text file in the game and type in what you want it to do, and it just does it."
Yeah.
And I believed him, and it didn't work.
I gotta say that I think maybe there's lots of different signs, I think, of success when it comes to content creation and game development and just like creative works in general. But I think that having a thriving mod scene around your game is a very good indicator that you've done something with a high level of success. Like if people like it that much that they're willing to create their own content for it, that's a really good sign.
Yeah. It definitely is. It is cool where it's like, and I think it's also, that aspect of like kind of Newgrounds spirit as well, where it's like, it's creative, where it's like, oh yeah, this game I like, I made this like mod of it because I like it so much. Where it's it's almost like an extension of like fan art in a way. Where it's like
because it's like, and I don't mean this rudely, but the aesthetics of the game, I would say by conventional standards are fairly outdated, but it seems like that's actually an asset in this case. Like, that's what's actually driving people to this, because they play the game, they remember a simpler time.
Flash game. Yeah.
And DDR.
I was gonna say that does kind of lend to its popularity. Like the simplistic nature of how the game looks, I think, in my opinion, makes it look good. Because like obviously rhythm games, it's a thing that's kind of died out, but like people still have like a undying love for it. Like I love rhythm games. Like I was a big fan of like the Parappa games as a kid, and there's just something about kind of bringing that back with like a really good looking art style that, in my opinion, 2D art will hold up infinitely better than 3D art. Like no matter what it is, because like you look at like games on like the Super Nintendo or whatever versus games on the N64. Obviously the 2D art is always going to hold up a lot better because it never really dies.
Because it's like it doesn't have that thing where in 3D it gets outdated so quickly, whereas 2D is timeless.
Right.
Yeah, and especially
but that's
like
just a theory.
The way that Friday Night Funkin's art is, where it's like pretty much like frame by frame or whatever, right? And it's like that Newgrounds kind of style where it's like, oh, tank man, frame by frame, where it's like you can have 2D games, but it is like it's these 2D games that are like, it's like these weird like meshes, like skeleton tweeny mobile game type looking, where it's like, oh wait, or Pixar, like I remember like when Cuphead comes out, and it's like, oh wait, this frame by frame hand animated thing, it's like you don't see that. Not only do you not see this like 1930s, it's like just the fact that it's like kind of hand animated like that, frame by frame, you don't see it like too often. So I think that's also an aspect of like kind of like Flash games in general, or like what people think of Flash games.
100%.
Not to mention the absolute banger of a soundtrack. Sprite. It's kind of like the stars aligned with just everything with this game. I think like
really is Newgrounds game. Really is, especially the soundtrack is definitely like, we really just kind of let him do whatever he wants, and we kind of like make certain aspects of the game around it, where it's like like just the fact of like the dad and the boyfriend like making the beeps and boops, whatever. It was like, oh wait, I'm gonna chart that. That's what I'm gonna chart, and it's like that's what the game's about. You are the boy, you're making the sounds, and it's like, Quiet Sprite, definitely a good man, definitely a crazy music man.
And then obviously like a lot of cultures just come out of this as well, like all the memes about the boyfriend just speaking in beeps and boops while other characters clearly can talk. Like it's I always love looking up the YouTube comments on his YouTube channel of like all the songs, Just like, fuck, there's some funny people making some comments on those.
Funkin genius lyrics.
What's been your favorite piece of like fan content or modding or parody or anything you've seen? Well, one of your favorites, I should say.
One of my favorite like mods that I've always said, it's called like Friday Night Funkin' but bad, I think, or like Friday Night Funkin' on a budget, $3 budget, and it's like it's made by this like 13 or 14-year-old, but it's like still like really well done. They like completely redo all of the music with pretty much their own voice, and it's like it's just like and it's just their like 13-year-old like adolescent voice, and it's like so charming because it's like this like oh man, this person just made this mod. It's like it's like the perfect amount of like ironicness, kind of similar to like those like old Minecraft parodies, I think.
Oh sure, like Eye of the Spider.
yeah.
When's you mentioned it? Eye of the Spider is going to be in week 8.
Eye of the Spider.
Yeah. What other ones?
Eye of the Spider.
Chug Jug.
Yeah.
Chug Jug. Tobuscus, Nugget, and a Biscuit.
Yeah. Got a bit of a lineup here. Quicebite's taking a week off.
By the way, speaking of that song, that's an interesting track to me because I missed the boat on it and I totally don't get it. Like, it does nothing to me. And I know for many people, it's like when they hear it, they're like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. And I think that mostly comes from them listening to it when they were a kid.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
that was literally
it's pretty bad. But
isn't Tobuscus like made of bees or something now? Didn't he? Something happened with him.
He's made of bees?
Oh fuck, I don't know. He's like he got cancelled or he's a dickhead or something now, right?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
There were allegations about that, and I just want to make it clear, those were allegations. Like, I don't think there was any proof, just to be fair to him.
Yeah. Well, he was made of bees.
Yeah, that he was made of bees. But he never showed his bee form.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be honest. I don't remember. I don't remember what the allegations were. I don't remember at all.
Sexual misconduct.
Oh, okay.
Well, there was also one around like last November, like right before the election. He was like, he tweeted something about like Trump. He was like, or some. It was like one of those like weirdo, bizarro like conspiracy theory things, and it's like, you look at it and it's like, oh wait, what? Tobuscus tweeted this, and it's like, oh wait,
oh, it's like a QAnon thing.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was like some weird like. It was like, oh, the election.
Can someone in the chat find the tweet, please?
It's somewhere in the archives where it's like, oh, if Trump doesn't win, then this United States election process is completely like compromised. But then it's like, I think that was actually like this kind of bait and switch thing that he did, where it's like
he was getting ready to promote a Nugget and a Biscuit too. He's like Kanye West. He stirs up controversy and then drops a banger.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, he was completely right. America collapsed.
Yeah. And Nugget and a Biscuit too kind of slaps. So I guess it was all worth it.
Nugget and a Biscuit, that's actually a metaphor for how the election was stolen from Donald J. Trump.
Yeah. We are the Nugget and our country is the biscuit.
We're just stuck in a biscuit. Once you get dipped in that mashed potatoes, it's game over.
Yeah.
Mashed potato is communism.
True.
Cam, there's a question I tend to ask whenever we have a game dev on, because I think it's really interesting to pick their brain about this.
Yeah.
And it's, what are you playing?
What am I playing right now?
It doesn't necessarily have to be right now, but it can be, if you'd like.
Okay, I will say a game that I got somewhat recently was Kid Icarus Uprising on the 3DS. I owned it when I was like 12. And I got it somewhat recently, and I'm trying to chip my way through it, and it's like, everyone's up in Kid Icarus. Yeah, and it's like Sakurai, Masahiro Sakurai. It's very, he definitely knows his shit when it comes to like game feel and like making a game just feel just like fun to play. Essentially, it's like there's a lot of things in Kid Icarus, and it's like, oh wait, whoa, this is awesome. Like there's this one moment where I was like fighting a boss and I ran out of health, but the game has this mechanic where it's like you get like one last stand. And as I was playing, I was like, oh wait, I didn't know about this. And then as I was like on that last stand, I like beat the boss, and it was like the greatest like gaming I've ever done.
And that moment you ascended to a master gamer.
Yeah, Sakurai's a legend. I honestly think that the newest Smash Brothers is the best one yet. Like it's just a great game.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
The thing about Smash, it's kind of like Mario Kart, where like when they make a new one, it's just kind of better than the last one. I mean, with the exception of, I think it was Smash 4 that I didn't really care for.
And the Wii one was
looks
alright.
over shoulder. I kind of like Brawl.
I liked Brawl.
Was a great. Brawl was a great party game, I think.
Brawl was fun for the mods too. Like the mods were really fun in Brawl.
Okay, I don't know if you guys ever. So they had something called Brawl Plus, which was supposed to make it more balanced. But this is my favorite thing ever. At the time, they also had something called Brawl Minus, which made all the characters like completely ridiculously overpowered. Like for example, Ganondorf's Warlock Punch, his B move did like 666% damage. And like the radius of Jigglypuff's Sing was like half the stage. It was really fun because that
sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's another approach to balancing is to make everyone ridiculously overpowered. It kind of evened out. Honestly,
it's kind of cool. Isn't Brawl infamous for like Meta Knight is just 10 times better than if you look at tier lists, it's like him and then there's 2 empty spaces and then there's everything else. Like it's just he's so much better than everyone else that it's like not even worth.
Yeah.
Like,
I do think. Go ahead.
I don't know, that was what I'd say.
I do think that Smash Brothers kind of suffers a bit from having its reputation unfairly influenced by the competitive scene.
Yeah, it's a good point too.
Yeah, because most people who play it are not playing it competitively. Like they're just playing it for fun with their mates, and it's like
the thing I don't like the most about Brawl is just the graphics of it. I really don't like that Wii like PS3 era of gaming. Like everything was like desaturated and like they put like a brown hue on everything to make it like more realistic and edgy. Yeah, you just got Mario with like photorealistic overalls on for some reason. It's really
unnerving. The seams in his overalls.
It bothers me.
It's a me, Mario.
But you could mod that. Like you could fix that.
I don't want to though.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying like that was one of the cool things is that they had all those mods. Also, I will say one thing which I think is absolutely unforgivable.
Yes.
Which is the tripping.
Oh, well, yeah.
Tripping. That was awesome game mechanic.
Yeah.
Do you want to fuck up for no reason?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Do you want to be punished just because fuck you?
Just because it's funny?
It's like especially bizarre because this is a series that's known for very granular control over the options in the game. Right. So why didn't they let you turn off tripping at least?
Yes.
Tripping's real.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I got hundreds of hours out of Brawl, so I can't be too mad. Like I played that with friends so much.
Yeah.
I can see its faults, but I don't want to like shit on it too much.
Melee was my classic.
And also Subspace Emissary was just so much fun.
Who do y'all main?
In Brawl or just in Smash?
I'm a Ness main in every game.
I'm also a Ness main.
Respect.
What the fuck? Like I just go for some kind of anime sword fight lately. I'm playing Cloud, but before that it was like fucking I don't even know.
Cloud.
Just to say Cloud.
Cloud is the only one I can respect because my pal Wanda he mains Cloud, and that's why.
What up?
Otherwise, anime sword fighter.
I think because when I was a kid, I had Melee and I played the shit out of that, and I really liked Roy in that. He was like one of the funnest ones. I feel like I've got some nostalgia for like Roy and the other Fire Emblem characters.
Yeah.
Just because of that. And also just because countering feels like the most satisfying thing in the world. When you get a good counter off.
Yeah.
Especially when like some of them have the most bullshit phrases. They're like, nice try. So it's like so mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole screen like freezes for a second. It's like real punchy.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how like when Melee came out and like they added the Fire Emblem characters, it was like, it was cool, but now we have too fucking many of them.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I don't want to play as any of them, just for the sheer fact that there are so many. Like I feel like we could have had some better ones instead.
I feel like that criticism would apply more if they also didn't do really weird wacky characters so often. Like they put Steve in there. And it's like,
but Steve makes
He's
sense.
An anime sword
Steve
fighter
makes
though.
sense.
He uses a sword.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like I don't fault them too much for doing kind of the stereotypical characters when they're willing to experiment as well.
Like, you also have to consider that It's a Japanese game. So
Yeah.
you dirty Americans, the world doesn't revolve around you. I don't know if you know that. So like a lot of these anime sword fighters are in there because they love them in Japan. So
Right. Well, I was hoping for Sora. I really wanted Sora. I know Sora is like
Goku,
an anime sword fighting character, but like Sora would make more sense.
Sora does, I guess they have to get signed off with Disney then as well, and that like I suppose I don't know how that works. I mean, because as Ultimate or something would have to have like Donald or Goofy. Like you couldn't just have Sora and 0 Disney characters. It'd be really weird.
Yeah, that is true.
But then he's another anime sword protagonist.
It's a Keyblade. It's different.
It's a key. It's a key. It's a giant key. It's a difference.
All right.
What if you could just play as the gummy ship?
Just the gummy ship.
Just the gummy ship. Yeah. Then there's no anime sword fighter. Problem solved.
The gummy ship has a sword. They just add one.
Fuck.
Swords, Final Smash.
Just a very generic sword, like a katana or something.
It's a
Swords, Final Smash. You get sued into oblivion by Disney.
Yeah.
Disney
Disney
and Nintendo juking off. That'd be fun. Oh yeah, who's your main?
Oh, I roll Kirby. Might be controversial, but I roll Kirby.
Down B King.
Kirby's cool. Kirby's like a gumbo pot, you know?
Yeah. Kirby. There's a lot of wacky different Kirby people. Listen,
Yeah,
I'm the wacky. Also, sometimes Jigglypuff. If I want to feel like I'm like okay, I'm not gonna be Kirby. Let me go Jigglypuff.
If I squint, I can't tell the difference.
Yeah, the thing with Jigglypuff is I have this thing with my friends where it's like I bust out Mr. Jig sometimes, and everyone's like, "Oh God damn it!" Because like I'm weirdly good with him.
Yeah,
is it? It's
a Pokemon.
Them.
That damn thing.
Pokemon have genders.
That dang fucking orb.
Ball of shit. I'm pretty sure Jigglypuff is a girl. I'm pretty sure.
Well, the one I guess it depends. Whatever the one in Smash Bros is. You know what?
I think canonically
you can choose.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. You can choose. Love, do what makes you happy.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. All right.
So you've been playing Kid Icarus, but what games would you say like inspire you as a game developer? Oh,
listen, I got reminded by someone in the chat. They said Stardew Valley. I've been playing that as well, and it's
it's a great game.
Yeah. You guys roll up with Stardew Valley. You guys roll up Stardew Valley.
I've never played it a couple times.
I've
never played it.
So many fucking hours, man. I own it on two consoles, which I don't do with any other games really. It's just so good.
Yeah.
As an indie like dev, that has to be like the dream as well, right? Like that dude just worked non-stop in that game for 5 years straight, and then it was a massive success, and he's worth $16 billion now.
Yeah. It literally like is just that one dude, and it's like just the fact that it's like he made all the art, he made all the music, he did all the programming, aside from like network bullshit, pretty much did everything himself. And it's like damn.
That's fucking impressive to be that. Like the music in the game is good, and like the pixel art is like pretty solid as well. Like and then also programming, it's like, and game design, fucking hell.
Well, Cam, you said that you have 4 people on your team
on my Stardew Valley thing. Or
no, on your game.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah.
Well, that's only 3 more than 1. Like that's also very impressive.
Yeah.
Thanks for the math lesson, Lars.
Oh, listen, just making my point.
It is this interesting discussion because there is like this kind of discussion that goes around in like I feel like game dev specifically where it's like, oh, the solo dev, the virgin solo dev versus the Chad collaborator, where it's like, oh, you don't need to do everything yourself. Oh, where it's like, it is this kind of, this like false stream of the naive game dev. Like, oh, I'm going to be a game dev and I'm going to do everything myself exactly the way I want it.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think a lot of people fall into that pitfall. It's like, it's a cool achievement you unlock. Like you get like a special title if you do that, but otherwise it's like, just fucking reach out for help, man. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Wasn't Among Us made by 4 people?
Yeah. 2 artists, programmer man, and maybe another artist.
Yeah.
Something like that. That. Puffballs United, Forte Bass, Emu. Those guys.
2 imposters and 2 crewmates. That's an Among Us reference.
Yes. Sus.
Not so much just like recent games you've been playing, but what are some games that you respect above all others?
Listen, I was going to bring this up because I saw it in your guys' like guests we want. I looked through that. Fez, Phil Fish.
Oh, dude, I love Fizz.
Yeah, Fez is a great game.
It's a shame
That's the
that
cat
Phil
game,
Fish,
right?
I mean, Phil Fish is like he's just a very pretentious man.
Yeah, what's the verdict on Phil Fish in here? You either love him or hate him. What's the verdict with you boys?
I agree with this guy named Innuendo Studios, which is that, well, yeah, he can be kind of an asshole. I think he was just a hungry game developer who got provoked quite a lot and was fairly young at the time. And from what I've seen, I watched an interview that he did later. It seemed like he's mellowed out quite a lot over the years.
Yeah, I kind of was in the same. I used to not like him as well. I still don't know where I sit on the fence, somewhere in the middle, but I think I've definitely seen more things where it's like, yeah, he was probably just a very egotistical sort of guy who was easy to bait. But to be fair, he also made Fez, which is an amazing game. So he probably could have, like, even if he was really up himself, he could at least back it up with proof that he's, knows what he's talking about. So kind of on the fence. Either way, Fez is a fucking absolute banger of a game. I love the Disaster Piece soundtrack and the visuals and just like the atmosphere of like the atmosphere of a Pixel game. Sorry, Liz.
Yeah.
Oh, no worries. It's also something to keep in mind that most of what you guys know about Phil Fish comes from 2012.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So
yeah, but
just putting that out there.
Indie game the
it's
movie.
Undeniable that he has been an asshole many times. Just I don't want to like pretend otherwise. Just
I reckon
he was just
we
a Phil Guppy back then.
I reckon we let's engage in cancel culture. Let's cancel him. Fuck it.
I'm done with
2012 is close enough.
I changed my mind. I'm done with Fez.
So anyway, Ninja Muffin, creator of Kill All Blacks. What do you think about?
That's not what it was called.
What is it called? Whites Only. How's that any better?
Whites Only. Listen, here's the thing. Here's this thing. I also made a game called Blacks Only, and that was the one that was on Onlyplays.
You should have led with that.
It's like a Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue situation.
That's genius.
You can trade.
That actually
the Pokemon
changes a lot,
them.
by the way.
Yeah, it does. But no one. That's the thing. See, that's the thing. I perfectly described it to you guys, right? Where, most people just get outraged by this first thing and they spread it, and then only later do they actually find out what it is. But
right.
See, I'm game designing right here in this podcast.
Now, will you ever make a game that appeals to me? I would like a Mexicans only, if you don't mind.
Mexicans only.
Yeah.
Don't give him ideas, Zofix. He can't get cancelled again. Week 7 will never come out.
But I'm giving him the pass.
31 Minitos.
You just start hearing furious typing in the
background. He programs it literally before we finish the podcast.
That's efficient. So you said week 9 is going to be whites only themed?
Yeah, week 9 it's a Newgrounds classic at this point. So I mean,
speaking of Newgrounds classic, week 7. I don't know how much you can talk about it, although it's very public at this point. But appears to be Tankman flavored. Is this confirmed fully? I don't know what.
Yeah, it is. It is fully confirmed. I don't want any Ritz truthers in the chat. I don't want any Cassette Girl truthers. It's Tankman, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be.
How does it feel to have to work with the legend Johnny Utah in G?
Johnny Utah. He's a little troll. He's a wacky little troll.
I love Jim. Cool. He's a really funny dude.
Yeah, I feel like as throughout this kind of development, I feel like I've gotten to kind of know him more. He's a pleasant fella. He's a pleasant fella. It is funny. So I'm just this like dipshit Gen Z asshole. So he'll just tweet something, and I'll just like reply with something completely nonsensical and like ironic, like, "Hey Jeff, what do you think of the David Dobrik drama, Jeff?" And he's like, "I don't know what any of those."
I did see you tweet that under the other day.
Yeah, and he's like, "I don't know what any of those words mean, you dipshit. Leave me alone."
You have to remember, he's literally stuck with Spaz Kid all day. So like, who's probably like the millennial equivalent of that. So you coming in with David Dobrik drama, probably like nothing compared to what Corey puts him through.
It's funny. It's funny.
By the way, speaking of Sleepy Cabin and Sleepy Cabin adjacent folks,
yes,
we've had like half you guys on. I feel like a Johnny Utah episode is it's due. So just wanted to put that out there into the world.
Johnny Utah, he'll give you sass. He'll give you sass and attitude.
But what about ass?
Oh,
hey.
That's why I'm in
let's
this
just say he does a very
game.
he does a very good.
Yeah, he's got that groan.
I love
he's
how
got that groan and moan.
I love how that went from like that was one of my favorite bits on Sleepy Cabin, and now it's like spread into the world. When I first heard the Kawaii Sprite song, I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, listen, just wait till the other songs and like the game in general, like the update. It's like everything about Friday Night Funkin' like blows my mind of like how far-reaching it all is, and maybe it's probably going to die down eventually, but it is scary where it's like, oh wait, this thing, it's just every single like tiny thing can have this like impact on like not only like Newgrounds, but it's like memes. Like Friday Night Funkin' is meme game almost.
Yeah, you could make something.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, Cam, I really appreciate you secretly giving all three of us the week 7 build early. I can definitely say some good memes are going to come out of that one.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm playing it right now, and I'm having sex. Yeah. So for those of you in the chat that were asking about sex, you're going to be very happy.
Yeah. How many cock jokes are there?
Sex.
Cock joke. Yes. I really wanted to call the like title of the week cock joke. Dave was like, nah.
Also, did not expect to see a Psychic Pebbles cameo in it.
Yeah, Psychic Pebbles.
That
you
really
can have sex with him.
Surprise.
Yeah. And 3 whole songs from him too. What the fuck? I can see why it's taking
that's why it's taken so long. He is a little diva.
You have sex with his nose and you unfuck his voice. Yeah, it's really cool.
Damn.
Free him. That's why it's taken so long. He's a diva ever since he got that Adult Swim show.
Right.
He's hard to nail down. Unlike Jeff.
Yeah. Jeff's still fresh blood. Jeff's just this Nightmare Cop's asshole.
There's going to be like so many like younger kids who actually think we're being serious about this.
Yeah,
we are being serious.
Sex.
We are being Can you have a secret that at the menu if you type in SEX it does unlock the secret sex mode?
Just type in sex.
That's a very Newgrounds era thing to do, though.
Yeah,
I think I remember there was this like Legend of Zelda game. I can't remember what it was, but I just remember there was a part where it was like a Link to the Past, like sprites and stuff, and I think it's like Zelda's uncle or whoever she lives with in that. He has like a porn magazine on the table in front of him, and if you like in Flash you can like right click and zoom in. You could do that enough times that it then like zoomed in on the porno, and then you could like click through to all these different nude images. But it wasn't in the mature section of the website. It was just like it was really well hidden. But I found it when I was like 10, and I was like, holy shit!
Yeah.
I found it. Anyway,
So-
Newgrounds is great. Everyone go to newgrounds.com.com.au/io.
Don't look at the naked girls though. That's gross and weird.
Yeah, if you look at any naked girls on Newgrounds, don't know what to tell you. It's not going to end good for you though.
You're sick.
Don't look up Inuyasha sex scene.
No.
Don't look up mean fuck 16. I don't know what mean fuck Lars.
What do you do outside of creative work? What do you like? What's a cam day for you?
Okay. Oh no. This is where my life starts to fall apart.
Yeah, let us know.
Keep in mind, still in the middle of a bit of a pandemic, so might not be as exciting as a normal day would be.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah.
I like messing around with my computer. I kind of already have it built up, but I do like getting new parts and building it when I do.
Me too.
I like music. I've been collecting vinyls.
Ooh.
Going to the little vinyl shops and nabbing things I'd like to see.
I'm a bit of a vinyl man myself.
Yeah, that's respect.
Speaking of which, you guys are dropping the soundtrack on vinyl, yes?
Oh yeah. Needle Juice Records.
When's awesome. Is there a release date on that?
Well, Doplex, you would know because you produced it.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, come on. Keep up, Doplex. You released it.
Track 1.
Soldier boy, tell him.
Hey.
Well, hold on. Now that you mentioned that Among Us is made by a bunch of old Newgrounds folks, and Week 8 very up in the air right now. I'm just saying, there's the potential.
Yeah. Listen, we are in contact with them. That's all I'll say. Our lawyers are talking to their lawyers. That's all
Holy
I'll say.
shit.
Week 8, sus Among Us drip.
I did see someone did the stone toss rapping against the weird Amogus character.
That one's so good.
That's one of my favorite parodies of
It's my favorite because it's like the girlfriend is just like doing her little dipshit head bob, and it's like it's the perfect like dipshit face she has.
Just like most women. Anyway, what were you saying?
Sus Among Us. Oh yeah, vinyls. Needle Juice Records. Those guys are cool. They just kind of DM'd me back in January. We kind of had the interest just among the team of like we're like, what would it take to get things onto physical media? And literally like a day or two later, they just like randomly kind of popped in my DMs, and I was like, oh wait, these guys are cool. I got people who I know follow them, and it's it's been they're very pleasant. They're very in touch. They're very in touch with memes. I popped in their Discord server, and they have funny, wacky little inside jokes. Stream Bubbo. Any Bubbo fans in the chat?
Yeah, can we get some Bubbos in the chat?
Yeah, so vinyls.
So
when that drops, I want one. I need one.
Yeah.
I would like one.
I got a question.
Who wants it?
Yes.
Doplex.
Yeah.
If you were having sex with Cam,
What the fuck?
Would it technically be masturbation?
Were we recording when we talked about this?
No,
I don't think so.
Yeah, let's
probably
give
make no
some
sense.
No, because it's funny because we there's a picture for the promo tweet for this, and it turns out that Cam, you have a more than a passing resemblance to Doplex.
Very
kind of freaky.
We are the same.
Can't believe it. I always thought I might be bad. Now I'm sure that it's true.
I wanted to.
Here's a picture of me for reference in a recording chat.
Yeah,
this is what I look.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Oh yeah, that's you.
me.
That's not kudos.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, that is him actually. You're looking a lot more like you've been dipped in mayonnaise.
By the way, we've been trolling a lot in the chat, but I just want to point out discord.t1podcast.com if you want to tune into these episodes live and ask questions to the guests that probably won't get answered.
Speaking of not answering, I would like to talk to you a little bit about what it feels like to suddenly have a shitload of followers. You mentioned you kind of got cancelled. How, if we can get a bit serious for a second here, how did you find that? Like, what was the sort of experience of kind of blowing up and maybe like getting cancelled or getting like a massive wave of interest on you from being a humble 500 follower account to significantly more overnight?
It is definitely whiplash where it's like it is completely like screwed up and like weird how it's like the only thing you can like compare it to, it's like your number to other person number.
Yeah.
And it's like where it's like, the only thing where I kind of get blown away by it where it's like, oh wait, this person who I thought was this huge thing on social media, I kind of passed them in followers like a week ago.
Yeah.
Oh no, how did that happen?
Yeah.
And that'll like take me aback, and it's like, where it's like, oh no, I got 100,000 follows on Twitter, but like when that hit, that didn't mean anything. But then when I looked at someone else's follows, and it's like, oh wait, this person who I thought was like huge in the indie games biz, oh no, I'm like over them. And it's like, it's probably very unhealthy to do, just compare. And I don't do it to like be like, oh, let's see how relevant I am. It just kind of like sneaks up on me as I'm like trolling through profiles.
It's like I guess it kind of grounds you a little bit as well. Like it gives context to like where you not where you sit. Again, that sounds bad as well, but like you say, you see these people who you have a certain perception of them in your head, and then these are the numbers associated with them. So then maybe what does that mean about how people perceive me? It is a weird. It's not necessarily healthy, not necessarily unhealthy. It is what it is.
Where it's like, even where it's like, and the fact that it like happened so fast, I still have like the shit fresh in my mind of like when I was just this like, 500. Where it's like, I remember specifically like a friend of like someone who's my friend now, but I remember like they followed me and they have like 100, like 1,600 or so follows, and I remember like back then it's like, oh whoa, this established artist followed me on Twitter. Just this, it's like, it's like, it's weird. It's weird how it's like weird how just numbers work. And everyone who's bigger than you is more awesome, and anyone who's lower than you is
dirt.
Not as dirt.
Stupid beneath your feet. I have experienced a very relatively small version of that compared to the massive success you've seen. But I have sort of had, small bursts of interest as well. And it is very weird. And it's funny as well, like you mentioned earlier, like when Senor Pele retweeted one of your tweets like early on, or back when you were even making the game for the game jam, like the prototype stage. Yeah. And like you got like a 2,000 likes on it. On a tweet, and I remember my tweets don't get 2,000 likes fucking regularly, but I remember the first time that happened where like someone big retweeted something, and it's like, holy shit, and you're checking Twitter like every 5 minutes just to see the numbers go up. And now it happens, you just mute the tweet because it gets fucking annoying. Like it is funny how those things change.
I've already muted the promo tweet for this episode because it's just got annoying after a while, but. Yeah.
Whereas like back in the day, you're like, 1,000 likes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Suffering from success.
The notifications. I've just accepted that I can never check my notifications without being overwhelmed.
Speaking of suffering from success, a very good DJ Khaled album.
Amen.
There is this thing that I've heard, and I'm not sure if it was Quentin Reviews who said this, but it was like one of the creators who blew up pretty quickly said that he kind of regrets it. Like it's not always a good thing. Some people I think are probably better suited to being smaller creators because there's a certain level of expectation that comes up with a large following. Yeah. Like you kind of have to. There's not like rules to it, but there are definitely expectations, and I don't think everyone's suited for that.
Yeah, it's definitely. It's definitely a lot of different dynamics that go on with it. Where it's like, Quentin Reviews, he's definitely this YouTube man. And it is very, it's like the YouTube kind of thing is different than like, if you were TikTok, that guy that blew up, or, someone else who Instagram, whatever, wherever else people get numbers that go big. And it's like, so it is very different, interesting, different little dynamics.
Yeah. By the way, Quentin, if this gets back to you, because I know you've been on our show before,
Tarantino.
I don't remember if that was you. I just remember hearing that from at least one other person.
I was talking to Tom Videoga in the chat yesterday about how certain people get into, like, because of the way the internet works, massive people can get massive who really maybe shouldn't be. People who might not have very good social skills or maybe a bit sexually devious who get placed on these pedestals that traditionally would like you say, Lars, like they're probably much better suited to having a smaller audience because it's probably more manageable for them and how they're suited. Not saying that's anyone here, obviously. That was just kind of going off what you said before. So yeah, it's a weird time we find ourselves in, but very fun and fun games too.
Yeah, it is definitely. Going back to like Phil Fish, where it's like, I could definitely see how like, he kind of became arrogant, because I can almost like see it in myself sometimes, where it's like, oh yeah, I'm this awesome game dev who made this awesome thing, and everyone likes this thing I made, and anyone who doesn't like it is this dipshit. And it's like, I could definitely see if like, even he's French Canadian, so he does have it in his blood a little bit to be an asshole. So it's like, I guess I can see it where it's like more arrogant.
You say that thing where it's like you want to like you've not that you've made it necessarily, but you've made something successful, and so that sort of adds a bit of like gravitas to your words or to your advice. But then I don't know if you get this, but you kind of, if you feel like a bit of an arsehole when you tell people like, oh, maybe you should like try do this, or like maybe this here could work, because again, you don't want to be like a Phil Fish being like, no, this is exactly how you do it. I know because I'm, successful or whatever.
Yeah.
But you also do have a bit of a pedestal to stand on to some degree.
Yeah.
By the way, very strange.
Something just to kind of relate it to in the chat, it's been very fun to really mislead people this entire time. There's something that I've noticed is enjoyable, especially the older I get, which is distributing chaotic misinformation. Like, just what is it about it that's so funny? Because it's hilarious to me to just say something that's completely batshit insane wrong, and just like, what's the humor in that? Because it's very funny to me. It's
funny misleading people, because as an adult, people believe you and trust you, so it's fun to subvert that. Although I will say, I hate when people just say something that's like could be realistic, and then or like do it to like make people mad. Like, there's something funny when it's so ridiculous that it's like, how did you fall for this? That that's kind of on you. But when someone like tricks someone and then they're like, haha, you got trolled, I'm a troll. It's like, okay, sure. Cool, sweet dude.
Well, I think it depends on how you do it. Like, there's like a lot of subtlety. There's an art to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nuance with the trolls. It's funny to troll. That's also been the best thing about Friday Night Funkin' is I can just say dumb shit and then people will believe it. I can say like,
what's the biggest like one you've said? Like, what one caught the most traction where you're like, oh shit, I didn't expect people to believe that.
One thing I remember, there's this one moment. This isn't exactly a troll. It was more like this ironic comment I made where it's like, some people on 4chan were like. I was like talking, or I saw something on 4chan that was like talking about me, and that like hit me weird. And they were talking about like how I made the game open source, and they were calling me like a communist or whatever, and that was kind of funny. But then I made a tweet about it, and then I also made a follow-up tweet that was like kind of poking fun at it, where it's like, oh, why I hate libraries. Why should libraries exist when you can just like, if libraries existed, no one would buy books or whatever. And it's like, that was like an ironic thing. And then it was like this thing where it's like people like believe me, and it's like, guys, I have my game open source and free. Guys, I like libraries. Guys.
I've never heard someone who hates a library, like, or hates the idea of libraries. It'd be such a weird.
Yeah, where it's like that tweet is just like so over the, like, I hate libraries. I hate the idea of libraries. That it's like, it's like I tweet that and people believe it.
You're not in a stage where like when you're as big as you are with the followers you have, where like you'll be responding to a certain group of people, like people 4chan calling you a communist, and then you'll completely like you'll get kind of lost in that train of thought, and then all of a sudden all these other people just see your library tweet without realizing the wider context of it, and then you're like, ah, shit.
Yeah, it's just like, oopsies. But it is funny. It is funny nonetheless.
Can we get your final opinion on libraries?
Yeah, let's settle the score here.
Libraries are awesome. I wish that libraries were opened. I hate coronavirus, though. That's not ironic. I hate coronavirus.
That sort of sounds pretty lukewarm take.
Before we wrap up, by the way, I did ask the audience right now at discord.t1podcast.com if they had any questions. Yeah, exactly. And there are two ones that I think are actually pretty good. One of them is, why not put up Friday Night Funkin' on Steam and add Workshop?
Well, the thing about Workshop is that you need the Steam version for Workshop, and I don't want to kind of lock out the people who are like DRM free. I want to download it off. So essentially the solution to that would be like a different kind of mod loader. Like Game Banana has a like mod system where it's like you can like a one-click in-browser download. So, and that's something that I have been looking into a little bit here and there. So that's like that solution. And the Steam thing, and maybe it's like us shooting ourselves in the foot. But one aspect is where it's like, oh, it is a game that's not done yet, and it's like, I'm a gamer, man. I'm a gamer. When I want to see a game on Steam come out, I want to see it finished and done.
Right.
I don't want to have my white picket fence.
Well,
early
I
access
almost
games
think you
scare
kind of
me.
have an exception here because it's one of those games where it's like, it's in a very playable state, even though it's not done. Like it's,
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
it's done, but it's not done. Like you can get a full game experience out of it at this point.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just gotta add sex and then it'll be done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, the sex has obviously taken a long time to add in because you said you really want it to be like kind of the authentic sex experience.
Like really graphic
Yeah.
and brutal and
But
kind of
like
disgusting.
Brutal.
But like it covers
Kind
the
of
full
violent.
spectrum of like human sexualities and like positions and fetishes and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, it's like wacky. It's like implementing physics engines. It's like
It's a lot
as
involved.
I
kinda-
said before, and
Kind of
NBA
feel like
2K
the
split.
inclusion of the bestiality aspect of it is not really appropriate, but you know, it's like it's your creative vision.
It's
so I
Newgrounds,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Anything
Yeah,
goes
it's
in
Newgrounds,
Newgrounds.
yeah.
Tom
Exactly.
Fulton
Newgrounds
And
is
then-
everything by everyone.
Deadbread had a good question, and you don't have to give like a huge thing here. Just like a quick summary.
2
I'm
words.
curious how you got into game coding in the first place.
Coding.
Programming, that is.
Let's see. I guess I like wanted to kind of do something with games, whether it's like game design, level design, whatever, or it's like, make games. And I feel like I kind of got into that because of like Little Big Planet level making and Skate 3 skate park making. Stuff like that kind of gave me a taste for it, I think. And then like, I just kind of stumbled my way through. Like I was like looking up different engines like Unity and like Game Maker and Unreal Engine, and then eventually I like landed my way into like Haxflixel, which is what Friday Night Funkin' uses. And I kind of stumbled into that because there's this one like Flash game on Newgrounds that's like it like teaches you Flixel, which is like the ancestor to Haxflixel. And I remember going through that. That's that backstory.
Do you ever think that potentially, in the same way that you were inspired to make games by these like game editors, how we mentioned earlier that people like modding Friday Night Funkin', do you feel like in a few years' time there could be some game developers saying, "Oh, well, I got my started modding Friday Night Funkin', and that was what inspired me to get into game dev"? Do you reckon that?
Yeah, I think absolutely. And I think that's also like one of the very like long term, that would definitely be like one of the proudest like things of Friday Night Funkin', where it's like, oh yeah, Friday Night Funkin' is what got me into making games. Friday Night Funkin' is what got me to learn how coding works. Friday Night Funkin' got me to learn how animation and the art asset pipeline works. And it's like, yes, that's blessed.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's awesome. I mean, that's the beauty of Newgrounds, right? That's inspired. Well, I don't want to speak for Doplex, but it definitely inspired me, or at least a lot of the crowd from that inspired me to start creating content. So it's another dub for
same.
Newgrounds. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it also inspired my sexual awakening.
Yeah,
I remember downloading, stealing neighbor's Wi-Fi on my PSP to look at porn on
Yes,
Newgrounds.
the PSP
Fuck yes.
board. Yes.
Yeah.
But the second P is actually for porn, and the first P is for pussy.
PlayStation Portable.
Pornable. Yeah.
I was literally
Yeah.
I was talking about that with Fan Arcade last night. Just like how it's like Newgrounds just had this like specific PSP section where you could like download the MP4s, and they had like the Zonton stuff, I think.
Yeah.
That's what he said. And it's like, oh, whoa, whole
Oh,
new
that's cool.
world.
I can play 9/11 Flash games anywhere. Wow. It truly is portable.
Cam, you got any last words of wisdom before we wrap up?
Words of wisdom. If anyone creates anything, go to Newgrounds. If you make art, music, games, anything, voice act, if you're just creative, Newgrounds is
No
definitely
photography though.
Oh yeah, no photography. You guys are assholes. We hate you.
Take that shit somewhere else. Can you give
Go
us
to Flickr.
can you give us your best
Okay. Here, I gotta warm up Johnny Utah. He just saw a Ninja Muffin tweet and he hates it.
That's good.
That's my good.
That was good.
Oh,
Beautiful.
You have to get like a level of disgust. Ugh. It's good.
this is the week 7 marketing.
Oh god, the chat.
When week 7 comes out, someone mod that. Hug.
All right. Cam, first of all, thanks for coming on, man. I've actually been really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I've been fizzing for this one.
Looking forward to it too.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Thank you for telling us about your risque past.
I got you.
I'm going to put up a link in the chat, but can you tell people where they can go if they want to find Friday Night Funkin'?
If they want to go find Friday Night Funkin', go to, there it is, ninja-muffin24.itch.io/Funkin' for the itch.io version. And you can go easy URL. If you want the easy URL, newgrounds.com. And then just scroll down till you see the front page, game section, and Friday Night Funkin's probably there. Newgrounds.com. Just go straight on to the front page. Easy, nice and clean, simple. Play right into your web browser.
Yeah. Also, it's 2021, so I mean, people can just Google it if they really need to.
Google.
All right. You've been listening to The First Podcast. Subscribe today at youtube.com/c/The First Podcast if you haven't already.
There's no C.
You can find all of our episodes edited and spicy, ready to go. Like I said before, discord.t1podcast.com if you want to tune into these episodes live. Donate on patreon.com/T1podcast if you want to get early listening privileges, bonus episodes, a funny roll on the Discord, a patron-only chat, a platonic kiss from Doplex.
Yeah,
that's me.
And more.
Week 7 early.
Yeah.
And
I'll say it.
And sex.
Yeah. Guys, if you want the week 7 early, go to patreon.com/T1podcast. Join the $10 tier. You can
People are going to believe you.
The contracts
to mislead them that much.
That's not real, but this is real.
But anyway,
you can catch Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach out later this year in 2021.
PS5.
So keep an eye out for this on PlayStation 4, PS5, Microsoft Windows. Thank you so much for coming on, Ninja Gaiden 99. NG.
Yes, I'm Ninja.
This has been the
Ninja from Fortnite.
This has been. Thank you so much for coming on, Ninja from Fortnite.
I love Fortnite. Use creator code Ninja Muffin. Yes.
And have fun having sex with your wife, Jessica Bliff.